What's up? This is the Canadian Indoor Grower coming at you again, and as you can see, the hydroponics is done. The tent mods are done, everything except for my inline fan and filter is done. So as you can see, we got some little plants going on in a modified tent here, Vivosun modified tent with a Mars Hydro 2000 TSL 2000. Yeah, so here's what's going on, guys and girls. We got 100 liters in circulation here. So as you can see, the customization now brings it right close to the top of my ceiling. And now we're gonna take a look at this. What do we got going on here? So, a lot of piping here. As you can see here, this comes directly from underneath the reservoir. Goes pumps up and down and splits off into each bucket. Each bucket pumps underneath. So it's going up in the middle, and then there's one line coming off the bottom that goes up as an overflow. So if you can see this pipe here, this outlet is about an inch lower than the top of the buckets. So that is never going to overflow here because of this pipe right here. If anything, it's gonna just come back in here and back into the cycle, into the reservoir. And then you see our overflow up there goes down into the bottom of our reservoir. Now that's just some condensation dripping there. I'm waiting for everything to dry up still. Many hours of testing now put into this. So like I said, this is moving 100 liters of air. As you can see, I got a nice big 8-inch air stone there in the reservoir with my 1600 gallon per hour pump. Pumping this thing directly into, hang on, let me turn off the air. You can see just the air, how much it moves. So if I turn off both, you can see right there, it's just hooked in with an average garden hose, and that is cut about 75% of the way through. So what's happening is this pump is pumping not only to cycle the reservoir, but also cycle the water in the buckets. Now this is pumping as much as those two lines can push back. That's how I got to about 75-80% cut, because I just kept cutting it a little bit until I got the desired water level at operating pressure. So that was kind of the way to regulate that. And as you can see, I got a mess of all my air pump line. Now what's happening here is there's my nice big 110 liter per hour air pump sucking cold air through my intake and then through my reservoir and then back out into my pump, which is suspended by, this is just weed whacker line. That's all that is, up to a couple anchor points that I already had drawn for a clothesline, as you could see. And I just, hung it. It's above the water line. It keeps cool. Now this has been running 24/7, and I can just turn this off, and good luck with anyone else doing this. Just grabbing it like that. It doesn't even hurt. Look, on my stitches even, it doesn't even hurt. So that's keeping it nice and cool, and that's been running 24/7. You see how I just grabbed that, and then it's coming out with warm air here, hot air, and then getting dissipated into the water here, which is bringing up the temperature of the water just a little bit, just to the point where it's a little bit more acceptable. Debating whether I need an excess heater or not for the water, but that is to be determined. But as you can see, a lot going on in this system here. So we're just going to plug things back in here. There's the air. So you can see just the air movement there. And then we'll come over here, pull this out. Look at that air movement in there. That's a heck of a lot of air. And that's just with the air movement. That's not even including the water movement that I'm turning on now. When we turn on the air, or the water, sorry, you see how it's mixing it up in the reservoir here. And at the same time, if you can see, it's going up to the fill line there. I don't know, it's hard to see with the big light on, but there's the drain fill right there. And it's perfectly just emptying and emptying and emptying and emptying, and if the water gets to about here, it starts coming out of the overflow down over here. So there's my overflow, which also gives a line for my airlines to go through. So this is 5/8 inside diameter airline, going into a 1-inch through hole and into a 1 1/4 pipe, and then this acts as a nice conduit so that the air stone goes straight into it. So you can see the airline just goes straight into the air stone right there. So that was dual purpose on that line there. It's an overflow and it's a conduit basically for my airline. So another point that I'd like to add out is the T. I put this T in and it's just kind of hanging there on a screw with a zip tie. Purpose of that is I can easily drain. So this right here, I can take this apart. This is above the water line of the system, right there. So I can easily just take that off right there, carefully obviously, because there's going to be built up pressure. You let the pressure out, and then I just take this little hose here that I have rigged into the pan of my hot water tank. And then all I gotta do is take that off, put that on there, drop it, and boom, system's being drained. So it's super easy. That's how I designed it. Really easy to change water. Then you know, I got my gravity fed reservoir that I just empty into the system. So there's a bit of my intro, guys. Again, we got 2 pots growing in a 4x2 and 100 liters of water in circulation. So that's about it, guys, for now. Till next time, stay green, take care. It's the Canadian indoor grower coming at you. Like, subscribe, follow me on this. This is going to be pretty epic. Take care, guys. Peace.